guys ever hear of Slurpee? I know some of you here are like into conspiracy theories and aliens and all that kind of stuff. You mean Slurpees from like 7-Eleven, like icees, like the slushies? No, this was an alien named Slurpee. He actually like looked like a Slurpee. He was like blue and had the same kind of consistency and texture. Here, I'm gonna get off my board for a second. Yeah, Slurpee. Oh, you hear that thunder? Maybe it's gonna rain today. I love being out here in the morning. So Slurpee came from another dimension. He's an alien, unidentified flying object. And Slurpee was just a dude. He was just a regular dude from his planet, from his universe. But when Slurpee came here, he could change people's perceptions. So when you looked at Slurpee, even though he looked like a blue icy monster, yeah, he's cute. He was super cute. He would always stay the same, but he could make you think he looks like anybody. So he can trick you. He wasn't an actual shapeshifter. He could just change your mind into making you think, making you see what he wanted you to see. And Slurpee didn't even know he had this magical power. This was his superpower. It was just regular for him from his planet. But if you want to talk about sensitivity, what are you talking about? Like your feelings? You have sensitive feelings, or sensitivity to light, to colors, to touch, to taste? Yeah, all that. Slurpee was a true empath. Like just walking. Like right now I'm like skating past these people. As Slurpee walks past certain people, he could feel all their emotions. He could tell. Even if someone's like jogging, listen to CNC Music Factory. I got the power. You know, he could even tell if that was for real, or if that was a fraud and they were actually depressed, trying to pump themselves up. He could feel everything. So you're talking about like Slurpee's like an emotional, like a sensitive artist, like he's emo. Well, can I finish the story, Dave? Are you gonna keep interrupting me? All right, sorry. Look, do you want to hear a story or not? No, I do. I want to hear it. Morning. Okay. So bear with me here. Whoa, I think I saw lightning. Ooh. So when Slurpee would go into a restaurant and order food at fast food, you know, he saw these golden arches. So he thought he wanted to try this thing called McDonald's. And in fact, Slurpee never had to eat. Slurpee's had his biology it kept eating itself. And I don't know, don't ask me to explain it. He just didn't need food. But Slurpee, when he touched anything, when he sat down at the table at McDonald's, he could think, just the touch of touching the table, he would think of where the wood came from, which tree it came from. When he ordered the food, every single ingredient, his brain would time travel to every single place that the fries came from, how they were grown, where the water came from, which mountaintops. When he got the hamburger, which cows, which drugs they gave to the cows. There isn't much of a ending to this story, or even a point. I was just telling you about an alien named Slurpee. But I want you, I don't know if you're an empath, I don't know if you're emo, I don't know if you're sensitive, I don't know if you're walled off, checked out, but just for today, and you don't have to do it all day, always extra credit if you do it all day, but just for an hour, when you go outside today, wherever you go, if you go to the park, if you go to the store, if you go to a restaurant, if you go to school, I want you to take a deep breath and just imagine what it's like to be Slurpee for an hour. And so when you sit down on the chair, and you can't rush through this, I want you to feel everything. I want you to be thoughtful. Oh, you're so thoughtful. I want you to be super duper thoughtful, like thoughtful to the max. Like when you go, I didn't think about that. I want you to think about it. Think about it to the max. And that would be a cool word. Cool word. I want a word that describes being the most thoughtful as possible, you know, because we're just rushed in our daily lives. I'm just rushed. I'm not thoughtful. Even if I think I'm being thoughtful, I don't really take it to the max. And of course, we couldn't operate the way we're living now if everyone was super duper thoughtful all the time. But once in a while, sit. Where did the rubber from your shoes come from? Take it as to the max of your thoughtfulness of where that rubber could come from, how many people worked on it. Think about where the electricity from your phone came from, the charging of the batteries. Think about where the raw materials for your phone came from. Think about where the concrete and the asphalt and everything that you stand on comes from, the rubber from your skateboard. And just, it might be too much. And, you know, if you feel too much, it's too much, right? So that's why I'm asking you to do it just for an hour or just for a day. But just for today, I want you to be the most thoughtful person ever and think of where every single thing comes from, the story, and take it back as far as it can come. Be like the kid that's like, why? Why, Dad? Why, Mom? Why? And then? Why? Where'd the grass come from? Think of every single piece of thread, of ropa, of clothes that you're wearing. Where did it come from? Who worked on it? Who touched it? I want you to think of every single person, everything, person, place, thing, where it came from, who touched it, who worked on it, and take it as far as you could go. Be thoughtful. Come up with a word for me. Thank you.